Even if you're not, it looks like you're doing beak. And you just look like idiots. So please stay in your seat, don't talk, don't heckle, and stay off your phones. Adam's going to start. There's going to be whooping, cheering, clapping, and we're going to get Dane on. Adam, make some noise. Everyone else, please welcome Dane Baptiste!
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll try and keep this brief because apparently some of you are on fucking dialysis. So... Which is fine. I'm not making fun of that. That's a real serious issue. In you come, sir. No problem. No problem at all. You trying to hide? Come into the toilet? That's fine. I want you guys to know this is a comedy show, not a hostage situation. So... if you need to go to the toilet, you go to the toilet. I don't want any women sitting here getting a UTI because I'm trying to be funny. I'm funny, I'm not UTI funny, so... I'm not cystitis funny either. What I'm saying is, ladies, you take care of them vaginas, all right? You take care of them. Some of you, like, can't believe he said that. This lady right here with the hen pie, she's like, he's mentioning pussies within 30 seconds. I hasten to remind you, madam, that the president of the free world said he likes to grab women by the pussy. So, I'm just a lowly comedian and creative, you know. I don't control one of the largest nuclear arsenals in the world, while I think it's okay to grab women by the pussy. Ah, now that got your attention, sir. Like a little vaginal meerkat. He was like, well, fuck this guy, I want my beer. Pussy, huh? Before I continue, though, I do want to check, for the sake of courtesy, is everybody here okay with me using the word pussy? Yes. I meant the women in the room, sir. I say this because, you know, with men, we have the privilege, among many, of being able to refer to our genitals however we want in public. Our dicks, our pricks, our knobs, our schlongs, trouser snake. There is a whole Dickopedia of names. So many names, that's why it's called dictionary, I guess. The thing is, like... Now, what women find a lot of the time, they're a lot more repressed, you know. They can't use words like pussy in public. You know, women have to be like, my minge, my foo-foo. I got 6 aunts over the age of 50 still call their private parts a sixpence. Like, that's how repressed women are in society. My manager, I have a great manager. She's a staunch feminist. She actually, she feels that sometimes when men say the word pussy, it's quite sexually aggressive. When they say, they normally hear men saying pussy with like porn. However, as a staunch feminist, she feels like women have rightfully reclaimed the word cunt. I don't know about this, that woman there was like, nope, too rich for my blood. Such a strong word, one of the strongest swear words that we have, that instead of saying it a lot of the time, we say, see you next Tuesday. Just to soften that blow. So, let's just say, for the purpose of this next bit I'm gonna do, PUSSY is an acronym which stands for the power of universal sustenance and salvation. Yeah! All right. Cool. Now we have context, and I said context. If I can give you gentlemen some advice, despite the example set by the fucking president, you should not be grabbing women by the pussy. Thank you, one lady. Unless. Let's say you were going on a hike. Taking in some fresh mountain air, great outdoors. Suddenly, your partner slips on some loose rocks. And she goes head first, pussy last, over the precipice of that cliff. Now it's time to think fast. Baby, no! Ah! Oh, that was close. Man, these pussies are amazing. They're so tensile and durable. No wonder they're the cradle of our civilization. They should sell these in millets. That's how strong these are. My goodness. But one thing's for sure, I found your clip when it counted. Let's finish this hike, girl! Well, that might be okay. Have anybody been to any festivals this year? Anyone been to any festivals this year? Anybody do any camping? All right, cool. Now, let's say you went camping for the weekend for one of these festivals. You set up your tent for the weekend's festivities. And as a man, you're laying down next to your partner, nay, your goddess, thinking to yourself, I am so lucky to be with this woman. I'm so lucky to be this close to a pussy. Since I was a teenager, this is what I always dreamed of. I swear to God, pussy the best thing in the world. At its best, sweet like honey. At its worst, kind of fishy. Either way, you're gonna attract bears. They're fans of both. Let's say a bear wanders onto the campsite trying to snatch your goddess away by the pussy. Time to think fast. Hey there, bear! You might be smarter than an average bear, but that's not your pussy to grab, mister. You get the fuck out of here and you leave my goddess alone. You perv. So I'm not sure if you guys know this. A lot of bears are pervs. Did no one else think it was strange that Yogi Bear and Boo Boo wore like hats and ties but didn't have any pants? Winnie the Pooh, bright red t-shirt, no pants. Paddington Bear, trench coat in a train station with a hat on, being like, hey, you want some sandwiches, little girl? That's fucking pervy. Paddington Bear is the R. Kelly of bears. I like marmalade. It's fucking weird. Ugh, man. I love the fact that, like, as I'm doing all this pussy-based material, there are guys here with their partners being like, I've never even heard the word pussy. I don't care for this at all, darling. Well, maybe you've not heard of it, but she's fucking heard of it. She's seen it before. That's right, I don't mind getting into pussy material. You know why? A lot of time, you know, I have a lot of solidarity with my female colleagues in the comedy game, and a lot of the time when they come on stage trying to, you know, entertain a crowd, you get some people being like, she's just gonna talk about her vagina and periods. First of all me and my friends talk about is vagina, so why is that so bad? I think pussy-based material was very relatable, if you ask me. It's like 30% of all my conversations with my friends. Now, on the subject of periods, some men getting uncomfortable. Well, you have to take the rough with the smooth sometimes, gentlemen. And I apologize on behalf of my gender to the ladies in the room that we don't understand, you know, issues like menstruation as well as we should. But can I just say in the defense of men, we don't even discuss any issues with our bodies amongst each other. Women are very open about when they have physical problems. That's when you watch TV, you can tell. Like a woman would be like, oh, have a problem with your stomach? Take some Seneca. You'll be fine. Women talk about these issues. Guys are just like, oh, fuck it, oh, curry. That's all they do. If a woman has a problem further down the stairs, you know, the pH isn't right, maybe take some Cancer Dio. Get rid of that thrush. How do I know what the fuck that is? Because women talk about their problems. Men don't discuss their problems. Like, I have a friend, close friend. I've known this guy for 20 years. He had an ingrown hair. Perfectly normal, on his bum, right? We can't have that conversation, I'm afraid. He was like, Dane. I was like, what's up, man? He's like, you know when you go to take a shit? Obviously. And you wipe your ass? Yep. And there's blood there? This conversation is over. What the fuck is wrong with you? I thought we were friends. So the thing is, like, people talk about toxic masculinity. Toxic blasculinity is even worse. As a black guy, you gotta be tough all the time. Am I right, officer? Because you never know. Oh, man. Goddamn, I love this job. But, no, I mean, you know, my friends, we always try and keep up airs and graces. We try and be tough all the time. It's where we've been educated to be like this culturally, you know. You never let your guard down. Me and my friends don't discuss problems, which is sad because I come from a community disproportionately affected by prostate cancer. A lot of my friends could use some prostate exams. It's not a conversation we can have. If I say to my friend, hey man, you checked your prostate? He'd be like, no, you're gay, bruv. Who you talking to? Put a finger at your mum's bum, bruv. I asked my dad if he had a prostate exam. He said yes, didn't speak to me for a week. See how bad it is, man, you know? So I just feel like, you know, like I said, men, we just don't discuss our problems. Here's the issue. I guess it makes us uneasy that women are so open about, you know, knowing about their bodies. Like, for example, have you guys ever seen in a nightclub when a bunch of ladies go to the toilet? It's like a second nightclub. It's like a queue. And people are making friends in the queue. Then in the toilet, there's like, you know, a fashion show, a trade show, people exchange cosmetics. Like people are leaving the toilet with new friends. Oh, I just met Sophie, we're going on a holiday next year, she's lovely. What the fuck? How are you making friends when people are taking shits? How does this even work? Because there's no talking at the men's urinal. Someone talks to you at the men's urinal, you're either in prison or the army. Like, you're fucked. You are fucked up. Like, the only time you talk as a man in a public toilet is when, you know, when you go to the toilet and you might, like, open a toilet cubicle and someone has committed a fucking massacre. And then you finish up and then someone else comes in, you're like, nah, they're gonna blame me for that shit. Look, sir, I know we just met, but I want you to know there's something happening there. I was, not involved. This is my ass alibi, so I just want you to know that, this had nothing to do with me. You know? And I really wish I understood more about ladies' problems, but I feel like, you know, capitalism has also misled us all. How do they represent having your period on TV? It's very misleading. I was always under the impression when a woman is on her period, she might want, you know, some painkillers for the stomach cramps, maybe a hot water bottle for some comfort, maybe some chocolate, maybe a glass of wine. And for men to leave you the fuckity fuck alone while holding you and supporting you at the same time. But then you watch these adverts and it's like, wow, about to fuck home. I'm about to phone for you. And then there's a woman hang gliding through the sky and then they abseiling down a mountain. Then they're trying to break into a safe. And you're like, is this an advert for periods or is the Charlie's Angels new trailer? What the fuck is happening here? It is so funny how men respond to that. Like, that's the only time I see my friends get squeamish. Like, my friends could tell a story and they'd be like, anyway, so this is what happened here. Man came in the club and he must have seen his enemy. Took out that knife. Stabbed him, bruv. Blood everywhere. And everyone's like, shit, that's a madness. But I guess that's how London is. You get me? Whereas a guy be like, so anyway, I went over to her house and we're getting frisky. And then she tells me she's on her period. Blood everywhere. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you okay? Do you have any trauma? That's disgusting. Oh my God. Look, I'm just saying, guys, you know, don't interpret this as virtual signaling. I'm not trying to win any points with the ladies. I'm just saying I have empathy, because I'll be honest with you. If I bled out my dick from the age of 12, everyone would know about it. Everyone. Everybody would know. You couldn't even have a conversation without me being there bringing it up. You'd be at a barbecue, be like, oh, what kind of meat is this? It's Angus. I'll bleed out my dick! I'll have mine's medium rare, please. I think it's a cool thing that if a woman says, like, if you're gonna go see a lady and she's like, I'm on my period, it's like an understanding that you're not supposed to, like, go over and see her and you can leave her alone, no questions asked. Like, I wish as a man we had that kind of excuse. Like, if a girl was like, I'm coming to see you today, I'd love to see you, but I'm menstruating right now. Yeah, basically, the toxic masculinity within my bloodstream is built up to a point whereby, like, you know, normally when we sit and cuddle, can we just, like, fuck and not talk? Because, some of you going with it, some of you are like, nope. Well, I'll bleed out my dick, so how about that? So, there's another lighter note. Slightly was talking about racism earlier. And, I mean, you know, we're all adults here, we know how things go. I mean, what annoys me the most is, like, you know, I hate that kind of cobweb racism. That's the one that fucks with me. Like, cobweb racism is when you're walking along and someone says something offensive and you didn't even see it coming. You're like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Just like a cobweb, right? You know, when people say stuff and they're like, oh, I can say that. I've got a black friend. How does something you have make us feel better? If I break a chair in your house and I'm like, that's all right, I've got a sofa at home. Why the fuck does that help me now? Also, there's a big difference between a friend, a colleague, and an acquaintance. I've got a lot of white acquaintances I won't lend money to. Or if they said something racist, I'm pushing them right in front of that bus. Yeah, he said he should probably use that job. Actually, that should be vacant. Maybe I should take that job. I don't give a fuck about those people. Like, and if you do have a black friend, we should be able to test the authenticity of your black friend, like in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and call your black friend and find out if that's really your friend. We should be able to do that. Maybe we should send them a fine. You have black people getting fines for no reason, you're gonna lose some black friends. I don't know. I just feel like if I had a racist friend, I'd warn them a few times, you should stop doing that kind of shit. Then I'll fuck his wife. You know why? Because if you got a real black friend and you're a racist, that's why he's your friend. He's gonna fuck your wife. So the next time you say something offensive, you can butt in and be like, oh, he can say that. He's got brown kids. I don't know if you've guessed yet, but I'm from London. It's cool. It's expensive. It's gotten gentrified a lot lately. A lot of middle-class people moved into where I live. Any middle-class people in tonight? I'm kind of scared because you're up north. In fact, yeah, it's not exactly. You can be proud of who you are. You can't control which vagina you get pushed out of, right? It's well. But rather, I'm not going to lay into middle-class people today. I feel like, you know, there's a whole hen party here of ladies celebrating love, and I feel like I should address that. Which one of you is the hen? Lisa? Lisa? You said it like I was supposed to know who Lisa is. Lisa, obviously! Sorry, Amy. Lisa, have you been asked when the wedding is? 3 weeks. All right. You good to go? You ready? Ready to say goodbye to, this diggity dick, Lisa? Give your friends, she's never heard of dick before. You've been sucking on plastic dicks all day, ladies. Which is fine. Lisa, I have a question for you. Did you ever buy your fiancé flowers? No. Lisa. We're not booing Lisa, for God's sake, gentlemen. I've been thinking about this lately, Lisa, you know. I'm always pushing for a more equal society. And I was just thinking to myself, you know, how come no one ever buys straight men flowers? I like flowers. They make the room fragrant. You know, they improve the aesthetic of the living room. It's nice to have green stuff outside of my Rizla. So, that's right, cop. I said it. I smoke wiggity weed. Am I telling the truth? Am I lying? You'll never know in the context of this show. It's almost decriminalized anyway. We can relax now. Now, Lisa, I want you to know my job is to observe, not to judge, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Society tells us that men don't like flowers. I'm just saying I like flowers, but it's very rare as a straight man you get flowers. You know what you normally have to do as a straight man to get flowers? Win an Olympic gold medal, which is hard. Or die. It's hard to smell flowers when you're dead. And I never used to get an attitude about this whole thing, but this new dating phenomenon that really pissed me off, that there are now people that go on dates with people they don't necessarily like because they like the restaurant they go into. It's called a foodie call. Have you guys heard of this? Yeah, some of my friends are like, hey Dane, I'm going on a date with this guy. I don't like him that much, but I like the restaurant we're going to, and a girl's gotta eat. Are you fucking kidding me? Shame. I would never go for drinks with a woman I wasn't attracted to. I would drink until she became attractive, and then we'll see how the night unfolds. I'm just saying, as a straight guy, it is very rare that you get a free meal with the possibility of getting fucked afterwards. You know what you normally have to do to get a free meal and maybe get fucked afterwards? Go to prison. Am I right, officer? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Man, that has been cathartic for me. If you would like to hear or see any more of my stuff or set up some kind of surveillance, then you can find me on YouTube or all your good social networks. My name is Dane Baptiste. If you do have a smartphone, please do be careful with a smartphone. Don't get addicted to these things, because a couple years ago, came back from tour, and I wanted to go away on holiday. Text a friend of mine. I was like, hey man, I want to unwind, just go on holiday. I want to go to Malia. Mistyped that in the phone, autocorrect sent us to Somalia. And I mean, it was still fun, good weather, boat parties. Not the type of time I was looking for. I've been Dane Baptiste. Have a wonderful night. Thank you very much. Good night.
Dane Baptiste, everybody! Right, now it's break time. Go and get some drinks and pizzas and stuff like that. I'll see you after the interval. Give it up again for Dane Baptiste. See you in a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bar is open, so grab yourselves a drink, grab yourselves a pizza from the far end of the bar, and be back in your seats in about 15 minutes. Thank you.